Hello, everyone. Imagine a bright daytime on a quiet farm, sunlight warming the yard, lunch on the table, Henry laughing so hard he can barely sit still, and Tuna finally smiling again, like life is giving them a second chance. It feels soft, safe, almost perfect. But here's the cliffhanger. What if one single buzz in Alex's pocket can erase all of that in an instant? And what do you do when saving your company means losing the woman you love? Today. Because that message isn't harmless. It's an ultimatum. A powerful partner offers enough money to save Alex's collapsing business, but demands one ruthless condition. Tuna must leave his life to avoid image risk. No negotiation, no mercy, just a countdown to midnight. Tuna senses something is wrong. Alex tries to hide it, but the truth spills out, and her first reaction isn't anger. It's guilt. She calls herself trouble and even offers to disappear, while the daylight outside suddenly feels colder than it should. So tell me, will Alex sacrifice love to protect hundreds of workers, or burn his dream to keep Tuna? Stay tuned for what happens next. And if you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss the next one. And drop a comment about today's story. The golden-orange afternoon light drapes over the farm like a blanket that's finally warm again. After days of cold hospital corridors and restless nights, this place feels almost unreal. Soft, quiet, alive. The water hose makes a gentle pattering sound as droplets scatter across leaves that are just starting to turn green again, like the whole garden decided to forgive winter. Tuna kneels by the flower bed, leaning close like she's listening to the plants breathe. Her fingers brush a few wilted petals with care, not rushing, not forcing anything, just steady and patient. There's a lightness in her face today that wasn't there a week ago. The fever has broken, the headaches have eased. The heaviness that sat on her shoulders during Tet is finally lifting. For the first time in days, she looks like herself. Behind her, the door creaks. Soft footsteps, a tiny yawn. Henry. He shuffles out, rubbing his eyes, hair sticking up in a messy little halo. He spots Tuna and waddles toward her like he's magnetized. She turns and smiles at him, and he squeals. Pure, high-pitched joy, like the world is good again. And then, another sound. The front gate, a metal click, the faint scrape of it opening. Henry's head snaps toward it instantly. Alex steps through. His shadow stretches long across the red dirt path, and the sunlight catches the dust in the air, turning it into something almost magical. He's carrying a small bag in one hand, and he looks tired in that quiet way people do when they've been holding too much inside for too long. But Henry doesn't notice tired. Henry notices Alex. He squeals again and runs forward, arms wide, nearly tripping over his own feet. Alex bends down and catches him easily, lifting him into the air. Henry laughs, kicking his legs like he's flying, pointing wildly toward the chicken coop as if he has urgent news to report. Tuna looks up from the flowers, and her smile blooms instantly. Bright, relieved, real. "You're back," she says, like she's been waiting for that exact moment. Alex's face softens. His voice is warm, easy, like everything is normal. "You really are feeling better," he says, stepping closer. "Did you go collecting scraps this morning?" Tuna nods quickly, almost proud. "I did. I'm completely fine now. See?" She even lifts her hands like she's showing proof. No trembling, no weakness. Her eyes sparkle with that simple kind of joy that feels like sunlight you can hold. Alex smiles back, but if you look closely, it doesn't reach his eyes. Because while Tuna's body is healing, Alex's mind is stuck somewhere else. Somewhere cold, somewhere fluorescent, somewhere that still smells like disinfectant. A hospital corridor from just days ago. Tuna asleep under medication, Henry finally safe with his mother, and Alex standing alone with his phone buzzing in his hand. He remembers that moment too clearly. The screen lit up with a name he couldn't ignore. A major partner. One of the few people with enough power to either save his company or bury it. Alex had stepped away from Tuna's room to answer, keeping his voice low. And the voice on the other end had been calm, clean, almost polite. But the words were ruthless. They would inject massive capital, Enough to pull his company back from the brink. Enough to pay the debts, stabilize operations, keep the doors open. Enough to protect hundreds of workers who depended on him. But only on one condition. A condition so cruel it barely sounded real. Tuna must leave his life. Not because she'd done anything wrong. Not because she'd hurt anyone. But because she was an image risk. A liability. A story they didn't want attached to their brand. Accepting meant saving the company, and losing the woman who had quietly become the center of his life. Refusing meant keeping Tuna and watching everything he built collapse, taking countless livelihoods down with it. Alex remembers the way his fingers went numb around the phone, the way the corridor suddenly felt colder, the way his throat tightened like he couldn't breathe. He had ended the call without agreeing to anything, without saying yes, without saying no, just silence. Because how do you answer a question like that? How do you pick which part of your life gets to survive? Now, standing in the warm sunlight with Henry laughing in his arms, Alex buries that memory deep. He forces the calm back onto his face like a mask he's worn too many times. Henry points again, giggling, and Alex follows his little finger toward the chickens, pecking at the ground. "Look," Alex says, playing along. "They're all busy." Henry laughs harder, and for a second it almost works. For a second, Alex almost believes he can freeze time here. But every laugh feels like a blade, because it reminds him what he's about to risk losing. Tuna stands and wipes her hands on her pants, stepping closer. "You look tired," she says softly, eyes searching his face. "Did you work all day?" Alex shakes his head. "Just a few things." He doesn't say what those things are. He doesn't say he's been waking up with that phone call in his head like a nightmare. He doesn't say every time his phone vibrates now, his heart stutters like it's expecting a second ultimatum. Instead, he shifts Henry higher on his hip and glances at Tuna like he's making a decision in real time. "You were sick over Tet," Alex says, voice steady, but with the faintest tremble underneath. "So I couldn't take you anywhere." Tuna's eyes soften. She opens her mouth to speak, probably to apologize again. Alex cuts in quickly, gently. "How about tomorrow? Or the day after," he says. "I take you and Henry out?" For a second, Tuna just stares at him. Then her face lights up like someone turned on a lamp inside her chest. "Really?" she says, almost disbelieving. "But won't it affect your work?" Alex smiles. "It's fine." His voice says fine. His heart says, how many more days do I even have? Tuna steps closer, and for a moment she looks like she wants to hug him, but holds back, still carrying that old fear of being too much. "We could visit Mrs. Tang," she suggests, hopeful. "And your mother too. We should thank them for everything." Alex nods. "Yeah, we should." His mother's face flickers in his mind, her steady voice, her quiet understanding. She told him sick people always think they're a burden. She'd been right. Tuna turns back to the garden as if the plan is already real, already safe. She reaches for the hose again. "Help me water the flowers?" she asks lightly. "They're coming back." Alex steps forward and takes the hose from her. Their fingers brush, and Tuna smiles like that tiny touch is enough. He holds the hose, directing the spray carefully along the base of the plants. Water glitters in the sun, scattering into a fine mist. His grip tightens around the handle until his knuckles pale, because in his head the partner's voice plays again. Massive capital. One condition: she must leave your life. Alex keeps his face calm, but inside something is starting to crack. Tuna chatters softly about little things. How Henry ate better today, how she finally slept without waking in panic, how the flowers looked worse last week and now they're standing up again. Each word is simple. Each word is life. And Alex listens like he's memorizing it, because he doesn't know how much longer he'll be allowed to have it. The sun sinks lower, turning everything amber. Somewhere nearby, a house light flickers on. The farm feels like it's exhaling into evening. Henry runs in little circles, laughing at his own shadow. Tuna laughs with him, the sound bright and honest. Alex watches them both, and something sharp twists in his chest. Love, yes, but also regret. A dread he can't shape into words. Tuna glances at him. "Stay for dinner?" Alex hesitates for half a heartbeat, just long enough for fear to flicker across his eyes. Then he nods. "I will," he says softly. "I love the food you cook." Tuna smiles wider and Henry cheers like dinner is the best news he's heard all day. For a moment, it almost feels like they're safe, like the world is giving them a break, like happiness is allowed to be simple. But Alex can't stop thinking about tomorrow, about that decision waiting like a storm behind the horizon. He's standing in warmth and still feeling cold. Because the scariest part isn't that something bad might happen, it's that Alex already knows something is coming. And the only question left is, will he sacrifice love to save his dream, or burn the dream to keep the people who finally made it worth having? Dinner should have felt like comfort. The kitchen is warm, filled with the familiar smells of garlic, broth, and steamed rice. Henry keeps bouncing in his chair, laughing every time Alex makes a silly face. Tuna moves around the stove with that gentle, steady rhythm she has, humming softly, tasting the soup, wiping her hands on her apron, like she's rebuilding normal life, one small motion at a time. But Alex can't fully relax. He smiles when he's supposed to. He nods at the right moments. He even laughs when Henry giggles. Yet it feels like he's watching all of it through glass, like happiness is right here, but he's not allowed to touch it. Tuna sets a bowl in front of him. "Eat," she says. "You barely had anything the last few days." Alex forces a small smile. "I'm eating." Henry points excitedly. "Alex, chicken!" Alex nods dramatically. "Yes, sir, chicken." Henry bursts into laughter, and Tuna laughs too, warm and relieved. For a second, Alex almost believes he can stay in that sound. Then his phone vibrates in his pocket. Just once, a tiny buzz. But it hits Alex like a slap. His chopsticks freeze midair. His heartbeat spikes so hard he can hear it. His skin goes cold, the way it did in that hospital corridor. The way it does when your body knows danger before your mind does. Tuna notices immediately. "Alex?" Alex swallows, forcing his hand to move again. "It's nothing." He lies quickly. He doesn't check the phone. Not in front of her. Not with Henry smiling. Tuna watches him carefully. "You've been quiet all day." "I'm just tired," Alex says, and he hates how thin it sounds. Henry imitates him, puffing out his cheeks. "Tired." Tuna laughs, brushing Henry's hair. Alex laughs too, but it's weak. He looks down at his bowl like the soup can save him from the truth. After dinner, Henry grabs a bucket of scraps and insists on feeding the chickens again, as if he's the farm manager now. He runs outside, nearly tripping, and Tuna follows to keep him steady. Alex stays behind in the kitchen for a moment, listening to their voices through the open door. Tuna's gentle reminders, Henry's excited squeals. The sounds feel like sunlight. Then Alex finally pulls out his phone. One missed call, one message. From the partner. His thumb hovers over the screen. For a second, he considers pretending he never saw it, like ignoring it could freeze time. Then he taps. "We need your decision. Tonight." Alex's mouth goes dry. Tonight, not tomorrow, not after Tet, not when he's ready. Tonight. His hand starts shaking, just enough that he has to grip the phone harder to hide it. He steps outside into the cool night air, away from the house lights, away from the laughter. The farm is darker now. The porch light casts a small yellow circle on the ground. The garden is quiet, almost asleep. Far away, faint fireworks pop. Early Tet celebrations cracking the sky in brief bursts. It should feel peaceful. Instead, the cold bites. A sudden gust of wind slides through the trees, sharp and unexpected, and Alex's skin prickles as if the night itself is warning him. Choose wrong, and everything changes. He calls the number back before he can stop himself. It rings once. Then the voice answers, smooth, calm, controlled. "Alex, I'm glad you called." Alex keeps his voice low. "You said tonight." "Yes," the partner replies. "The board is finalizing paperwork." Alex's throat tightens. "And the condition?" A short pause, then, like it's nothing. "Tuna must be removed from your life, completely. No private contact, no public association. We can't take image risk." "Image risk," Alex repeats, voice sharper. "She's not a risk. She's a person." "This is business," the partner says, almost gentle. "You have investors, employees, a brand to protect. You can't afford complications." Complications. Alex grips the phone until his fingers ache. "And if I refuse?" The partner's tone doesn't change. Then we walk away, and you can explain to hundreds of workers why their paychecks stop, why the company collapses, why your dream dies. Alex's vision swims. For a second, he sees his team, faces, names, people who trusted him. He hears his own voice from months ago promising stability. Then he hears Henry laugh from the yard, and it yanks him back like a rope. Alex's voice cracks. "You're asking me to destroy my life either way." "I'm asking you to choose," the partner says smoothly. "That's leadership." Confirmed by midnight. Click. The call ends. Alex stands there breathing hard, phone still in his hand like it weighs 100 pounds. The wind moves again, colder now. The trees rustle like whispers. Then Tuna's voice calls softly from the porch. "Alex, are you okay?" Alex flinches and turns. Tuna stands in the doorway with light behind her, making her look like the safest thing in the world. Henry is beside her, proud of his bucket like he's done something heroic. Tuna walks down the steps slowly. "I noticed you left," she says. Her voice is gentle, but her eyes are sharp. "Did something happen?" Alex shoves the phone into his pocket. He tries to build the mask again. "It's nothing," he says. "Just work." Tuna doesn't buy it. She steps closer, lowering her voice. "You've been carrying something since the hospital. I can feel it." Henry looks between them. "Carry?" Tuna crouches and takes Henry's hand. "Go wash your hands, okay? Then we'll have dessert." Henry hesitates, then runs inside. When the door closes, the night becomes quieter. Too quiet. Tuna looks up at Alex and her voice turns small. "Alex, did I do something wrong?" That question hits him like a punch. "No," Alex says instantly. "Never." "Then why do you look like that?" she whispers. "Like you're already saying goodbye." Alex's chest tightens. He opens his mouth, closes it. He doesn't trust himself. Tuna reaches out, touching his sleeve lightly. "Tell me." Alex stares at her hand on his arm like it's the last warm thing left, and something inside him cracks. "Someone called," he admits. Tuna's eyes widen. "Who?" "A partner," Alex says, swallowing hard. "They want to invest, a lot." For half a second, hope flashes across her face. "That's good. Your company, it comes with a condition," Alex cuts in, voice shaking now, despite him trying to steady it. Tuna's smile fades. "What condition?" Alex forces the words out, each one like glass. "They said, you have to leave my life." The air seems to drop in temperature. Tuna stares at him, frozen, like her brain refuses to accept it. "What?" "They think you're an image risk," Alex says, voice raw. "They said if I want the money, I have to remove you completely." Tuna's lips part. Her hands slowly fall to her sides. For a moment, she doesn't react. Then guilt finds her first, as it always does. Her voice trembles. "So, I really am trouble." "Tuna, no." Alex reaches toward her, but she takes half a step back, like she's afraid her presence might stain him. Her eyes fill with tears. "If leaving you saves everyone, then maybe I should—" "Don't," Alex says, sharper than he means to, voice cracking. "Don't make this easy for them." Tuna's tears spill over. She wipes at them, failing. "Alex, I don't want you to lose everything because of me." "And I don't want to lose you," Alex whispers, and the truth lands between them like a weight. Inside the house, Henry laughs again, oblivious. Outside, another distant firework pops, bright and brief, like a warning flare. Alex's phone vibrates in his pocket. A reminder. Midnight is coming. Tuna looks at him through tears. "What are you going to do?" Alex opens his mouth to answer, but no words come, because he doesn't know which part of his life he's about to sacrifice. And as the wind rises again, colder, stronger, Alex feels it in his bones. Whatever he chooses tonight, tomorrow, something will shatter. After a warm family dinner on the farm, Alex's peace shatters when his phone buzzes with a message from a powerful partner. He must decide tonight. The investment that could save his struggling company comes with a ruthless condition. Tuna must leave his life to avoid image risk. Alex steps into the cold night, calls back, and hears the ultimatum again. Choose Tuna, or choose the livelihoods of hundreds of workers. When Tuna senses something is wrong, Alex finally confesses the truth. Her first reaction is guilt. She believes she's trouble and even offers to leave. But Alex stops her, admitting he can't bear to lose her. As fireworks crackle in the distance and midnight approaches, the question hangs between them. What will Alex sacrifice? In the conclusion, one final decision will either protect their love or shatter it forever.